Engaged in a very noble and dangerous fight with lads who were largely in their 20s or their teens. You wrote history, and it's a reminder to us today that history is not written by generals and presidents. It's oftentimes written by very, very young men, and today young women, who put it all on the line. And I think that you operated, I believe, for much of this period overseas from Toretto Field there in southern Italy. And you poured what we would, I think you could only describe as hell on an enemy that basically could only be stopped if young men were willing to go and fight them. When it was all over and done with, there was nothing left to do than to fight fascism and all of its evil aspects with young men who decided to put everything they had on the line, their dreams, their hopes, their bodies, their spirits, their minds, and put it all on the line. And towns, areas around Munich and Innsbruck and Vienna, many of us have grown up today with one view of them. At one time when you got the word you were going there, I'm sure your heart started beating a little faster as you realized how tough it was going to be, as those and hundreds of other target areas felt your determination that we were going to win, that it was no longer up to a debating society. It was going to be up to you to pummel them from the air, for their Messerschmitts to go down from your guns, or else we would not have this free, wonderful experiment that we call America that we've given to the young people in this room. And that's all it is an experiment to see if free people can pass on to the next generation freedom in a world that doesn't really care for freedom a whole lot. And we've seen tyranny before. You defeated it. There's an aspect of tyranny afoot in the world today. And you young men were very, very good at your job. I noticed, I enjoyed reading the background of your organization, and I saw each mission, your bombing accuracy got better time after time. You were very, very good at your job. And eventually it does not come down to the fact that we're America and we're going to win because we're America. It comes down to the fact that young men can do better than the young men on the other side. And I admire you for what you did. But no less important was the humanity that you maintained throughout. And I want to make note of this. Not only have you gathered together many, many years after those 2 years of combat, to remember your friends who didn't make it, and to maintain friendships that go beyond all others, but you gathered funds to support college scholarships for some children in the Cerignola area. And knowing that you went overseas to liberate people from tyranny, and that commitment did not stop when you came home. And that says volumes about your values. We salute you for your wartime performance, but certainly those of us today who read about you in history books or read brochures about you also salute you for your compassion and to your friends who didn't make it back. Now, I promised Colonel Fisher and KB that I would be willing to take questions.